What if I told you there's one tiny, everyday habit that could silently put you on the path to a stroke while you're asleep? No pain, no warning, no second chance. One moment you're fine and the next your arm won't move, your speech is slurred, and your balance is gone. Sounds terrifying, right? Yet, for millions of people over 60, this hidden danger is quietly building every single night. And it's not what you think. As a brain doctor, I've seen it far too many times. And here's the shocking part. It's not smoking, not a bad diet, not even skipping exercise. It's something most seniors take with the best intentions, believing it's keeping them healthy. Vitamins. Yes, vitamins. Every morning, across the country, older adults line up their supplements, hoping to protect their bones, keep their memory sharp, or boost their energy. And while many vitamins do help, a few, especially when taken in the wrong dose or at the wrong time, can quietly put your brain in serious danger. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 common vitamins that may raise your risk of stroke, brain bleeds, or dangerous blood pressure spikes, especially during the early morning hours when your brain is most vulnerable. If you've ever taken vitamin D, E, B, 6, A, or niacin, what you hear today might just save your life. But first, I want to hear from you. Have you ever stopped to wonder if the vitamins you're taking might be doing more harm than good? Type 1 in the comments if you have, or type 0 if this is all new to you. And if brain health matters to you or to someone you love, hit the like button, subscribe to Health 360, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an important health alert made especially for older adults. Let's start with the most surprising of them all, vitamin D. You've probably heard it's great for bones, mood, even your immune system, and it's true, in moderation. But here's what most seniors are never told. Too much vitamin D, especially taken at night, can quietly set the stage for a stroke. I know that sounds unbelievable, but I've seen it happen in real life. Take Mr. Walter, for example, a 74-year-old retired Navy veteran. He was disciplined, sharp, and took his health seriously. Every morning, like clockwork, he lined up his supplements, including a 10,000 IU vitamin D capsule he bought over the counter. He thought he was protecting his bones. But slowly, day by day, that well-meaning habit was pushing him toward a silent disaster. One morning, his wife found him confused. His words came out garbled. His right arm hung useless at his side. It was a stroke. Overnight. His blood tests revealed dangerously high calcium levels, stiff arteries, and wild swings in blood pressure. The culprit? Vitamin D toxicity. Here's why. When you take high doses of vitamin D without medical supervision, calcium builds up in your bloodstream. Your body doesn't know what to do with all that extra calcium, so it pushes it into your arteries, making them stiff and narrow. That creates the perfect path for a blood clot straight to your brain. And as we age, our arteries naturally lose flexibility. Add dehydration, poor sleep, and a calcium spike at night, and you've created the perfect storm for a stroke. The most frightening part? There are no warning signs. You can go to bed feeling perfectly fine and wake up with your life forever changed. To make matters worse, many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements in the U.S. contain far more than older adults actually need 5,000 IU, even 10,000 IU. People take them daily, thinking more is better. But research shows that even 2,000 IU may be too much if you're not truly deficient. So here's my advice. If you take vitamin D, especially with calcium or heart medications, get your blood levels checked regularly and always take it in the morning. never before bed. Do you know how many IUs are in your supplement? Type D in the comments if you're currently taking vitamin D, and let's talk about it. If this made you think twice, give the video a thumbs up so more people can see it. And trust me, if this surprised you, wait until you hear about the next vitamin. Many people take it for heart health, but in older adults, it can raise the risk of something even more dangerous than a clot: a brain bleed. Let's talk about vitamin E, the so-called heart helper. Many over 60 reals adults take it for circulation, memory, or skin health. But here's the hidden truth. When combined with certain common heart medications, too much vitamin E can actually thin your blood so much that bleeding in the brain becomes a real risk. We've just seen how something as harmless as vitamin D can quietly set the stage for a stroke. But it's not the only supplement that can turn from friend to foe. Another one, often praised for heart health, can, in the wrong situation, trigger a different kind of brain disaster: bleeding inside the skull. Mrs. Evelyn Brooks seemed to be doing everything right. Her doctors monitored her closely. Her blood work looked fine. Her blood pressure was steady. She took her prescribed medication exactly as told. But one day, flipping through a magazine, she spotted an ad for all-natural vitamin E 800 IU per capsule. "I thought it would help my memory and circulation," she told me later. It sounded so simple, so safe. 3 weeks after starting it, Evelyn was rushed to the ER. She had a pounding headache, was suddenly confused, and began vomiting. The brain scan revealed something terrifying: a hemorrhagic stroke, not caused by high blood pressure, not by a fall, but by a fragile blood vessel in her brain that had burst. The cause? The deadly combination of her prescribed blood thinner, warfarin, and high-dose vitamin E. Here's what many people don't realize. Vitamin E in large doses acts like a natural blood thinner. It slows clotting. If you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, warfarin, or any other blood thinner and you add high-dose vitamin E, you quietly increase your risk of internal bleeding. And when that bleeding happens inside the brain, even a tiny leak can rob you of your speech, your ability to walk, or your memories in an instant. The scary truth? Older adults only need about 15 milligrams a day. That's roughly 22 IU. But look at store shelves, and you'll see bottles with 200, 400, even 1,000 IU per capsule, often without any warning labels. People take them every day for years, thinking they're doing something good. Evelyn survived her stroke. But now, she walks with a cane. Her short-term memory never fully recovered. With tears in her eyes, she told me, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." And she's not alone. Too many seniors believe that if it's a vitamin, it must be safe. But that's not true, especially when you're on heart or blood pressure medications. Always, always talk to your doctor before adding something new. And if the thought of a brain bleed isn't frightening enough, there's another vitamin often marketed for nerve support and energy that can slowly, quietly damage your nerves. And sometimes, the damage can be permanent. Vitamin B6 is often sold as a nerve support or brain booster. You've probably seen it in pharmacy aisles. Labels promising sharper focus, more energy, better memory. Maybe a friend or even a health article suggested it was good for aging nerves. But here's what most people are never told. Too much vitamin B6 can actually destroy the very nerves it claims to protect. Take Mr. Harold Jenkins, a 76-year-old retired truck driver from Kansas. He came to my office because his feet were numb, his hands tingled, and his balance felt off. At first, he chalked it up to aging. Then, he started falling. Once, Then again. The third time, he hit his head on the bathroom floor. When I reviewed his supplements, the culprit was obvious. For over a year, Harold had been taking a nerve support formula, 100 milligram of vitamin B6 inch, each tablet, 2 tablets a day. That's 200 milligram daily, more than 10 times the safe upper limit for older adults. Here's why that's dangerous. Unlike some vitamins that flush out easily in urine, B6 builds up in your system over time. In older adults, it can damage the protective coating around your nerves, like stripping insulation off electrical wires. The result? Tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, tremors, confusion, even memory loss. The danger is subtle. The symptoms creep in so slowly that people often mistake them for arthritis, age-related nerve wear, or even early dementia. But in reality, it's preventable, supplement-induced nerve damage. And if it's not caught early, the damage can be irreversible. Harold was lucky we stopped the supplement before things worsened, but he still walks with a cane. He no longer drives. Looking down, he told me quietly, "I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't realize I was poisoning it." Let's be clear. Vitamin B6 is essential, but in very small amounts. Older adults only need about 2 to 10 milligram per day, including what comes from food. Yet many brain or energy supplements contain 50, 100, even 200 milligram per pill. That's not just unnecessary. It's dangerous. So, before you take anything labeled for nerve, brain, or energy support, read the label. Know your numbers. And if you've ever taken vitamin B6 supplements, type B6 inch. The comments, I want to hear your experience. We've just learned how vitamin B6, when taken in excess, can slowly damage your nerves, sometimes beyond repair. But what about other vitamins we often assume are completely safe? Many people think, well, at least vitamin A must be harmless. It's just for eyesight, right? The truth may surprise you. For most older adults, vitamin A is known as the eyesight vitamin. You might have taken it for your immune system, skin health, or because someone mentioned it helps you age gracefully. And yes, in the right amount, it can be beneficial. But here's what hardly anyone tells you, especially after the age of 60. Too much. Vitamin A doesn't just vanish from your body. It builds up. Over time, this accumulation can increase the pressure inside your skull, mimic a stroke, damage your vision, and even impair brain function. One of my patients, Miss Dorothy Simmons, was a 9-year-old retired piano teacher from Oregon. She loved music, taught students from her cozy living room, and took pride in her independence. But one day, she began to notice nagging headaches. Then came the blurred vision. Soon after, dizziness and slurred speech followed. Her family feared the worst, a stroke. When we ran her scans, we found no clot, no bleeding. Instead, the culprit was elevated intracranial pressure. Too much pressure inside her brain. Her spinal fluid was backed up, and tiny veins were under strain. The diagnosis? Vitamin A toxicity. For over 5 years, she had been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement nearly 10,000 IU per day without realizing the danger. Here's the key difference with vitamin A. It's fat-soluble. Your body stores it in your liver, tissues, and even your brain. Unlike water-soluble vitamins like C or B, it doesn't flush out in your urine. And as we age, our liver processes nutrients more slowly, meaning the buildup happens even faster. Too much vitamin A can lead to a condition called pseudotumor cerebri, a false brain tumor. Symptoms include headaches, blurred or double vision, dizziness, nausea, and, in severe cases, permanent vision loss or cognitive decline. The tricky part? Many multivitamins already contain the full recommended daily amount of vitamin A. But people like Miss Dorothy unknowingly double or triple their intake by adding skin, eye, or anti-aging supplements on top. The safe upper limit for seniors is roughly 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, and only if needed under medical supervision. Yet, many products sold online contain 5,000, 10,000 IU, or even more per dose. Taken daily for months or years, the damage quietly builds up. Miss Dorothy is slowly recovering, but she now needs regular eye exams, pressure checks, and balance therapy. With sadness in her voice, she told me, "I thought I was doing something good for my body. I never imagined it could hurt my brain." Her story isn't meant to frighten. It's to give you the facts, so you can protect yourself and your independence. And if you thought eyesight vitamins were the only hidden risk, think again. There's another supplement often taken for cholesterol and heart health that can trigger sudden spikes in blood pressure and even lead to a stroke. Niacin, also known as vitamin B3, has long been promoted as a natural way to lower cholesterol. Some doctors prescribe it, and you can find it in heart health supplements, energy drinks, and even fortified cereals. But here's what's rarely mentioned, especially to older adults. High doses of niacin can cause dangerous swings in blood pressure, sometimes strong enough to affect blood flow to the brain. Mr. Frank Miller, an 82-year-old retired postman from Florida, came to see me with an unusual set of symptoms: hot flushing in his face, a pounding sensation in his chest, and dizziness that appeared almost every morning. His wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure medication. But the real cause? A supplement no one had thought to question. The front of the bottle read, "Supports cholesterol and circulation." The back revealed the truth: 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving. And Frank was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily, over 60 times the amount most seniors actually need. Here's what happens. In high doses, niacin causes your blood vessels to suddenly expand, which can make your face flush or feel warm. But shortly after, those same vessels constrict again. This rebound effect can sharply raise blood pressure, strain your heart, and limit blood flow to your brain. Over time, this yo-yo effect is like tapping a fragile glass with a hammer over and over. Eventually, something cracks. In Frank's case, he suffered a transient ischemic attack, thanks in advance, often called a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for about 2 minutes, then returned. He thought it was a harmless fluke. But the truth was harder to hear. His daily heart supplement was quietly harming him. Niacin wasn't the only surprise. As we saw with Frank's story, many seniors take high-dose niacin without realizing the risks. Some even buy flush-free or extended-release versions online, thinking they're safer. But here's the truth. Even those forms can still raise blood pressure, trigger atrial fibrillation, and disrupt blood sugar levels. If you're over 60, you need to know this. Anything above 50 milligrams of niacin per day should only be used under medical supervision. And if you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm problems, or take medication, always check your labels before adding another pill to your routine. Frank is now off niacin. He's recovering well, with no permanent damage. But he told me something I'll never forget. "Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain." After walking through these 5 common vitamins, each with the potential to quietly harm your brain, You may be asking yourself, so what should I take instead? Or better yet, what should I eat? That's the right question. Because the truth is, your body wasn't designed to live off pills. It was built to thrive on real, whole, nutrient-rich foods. Foods your brain knows how to recognize, absorb, and use in just the right amounts. One of my patients, Mrs. Margaret Wilson, a 73-year-old retired school principal from Arizona, taught me just how powerful this shift can be. When we first met, she pulled open a drawer filled with bottles. Vitamin D for bones, vitamin E for heart health, a B complex for energy, niacin for cholesterol, a multivitamin, and several brain support pills. "I'm doing everything right, Doc," she said confidently. But she was feeling dizzy most mornings. Her balance was off. Her blood pressure kept creeping upward. Something wasn't adding up. So we tried something radical. We cleared away the clutter. Every pill that wasn't medically essential. One by one, we replaced them with food. No complicated diet plans. No expensive programs. Just simple, whole foods in the right portions and combinations. Here's what her new breakfast looked like. 1 boiled egg for clean, high-quality protein. Half an avocado, rich in brain-loving healthy fats. A slice of whole grain toast for steady energy release. A handful of fresh blueberries, packed with antioxidants to protect brain cells. A glass of room temperature water to hydrate the brain before the day began. Some mornings, she'd add a few walnuts or almonds for an extra boost of omega-3 second and vitamin E. That's it, no powders, no pills, just real, nourishing food. Within weeks, Maggie noticed the difference. The dizziness faded, her blood pressure stabilized, her energy returned, and she told me her mind felt sharper than it had in years. Why did it work? Because the brain thrives on balanced hydration, healthy fats, consistent fuel, and micronutrients in their natural form. It doesn't need megadoses, it needs the right doses. Some of the best foods for older adults include leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in folate and antioxidants. Fatty fish such as salmon or sardines, full of omega-3 fatty acids to protect brain cells. Berries for polyphenols that fight inflammation. Nuts and seeds for vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats. Whole grains to keep blood sugar steady and circulation strong. These foods don't just protect your brain, they also support your heart, bones, mood, and mobility. Every bite becomes an investment in your independence. And here's your final wake-up call. At this stage of life, awareness is the most powerful medicine you have. It's not about fearing vitamins, it's about respecting them, reading the labels, asking your doctor, listening when your body whispers that something's off. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 doesn't process supplements the way it did decades ago. Even habits that seem healthy can backfire if you're not paying attention. So, I want to ask you, what's one change you can make starting tomorrow to protect your brain and your health? Share it in the comments. I read every single one. If this video gave you something to think about, give it a like so more people can discover it. And don't forget to subscribe to Health 305 and click the notification bell so we can keep learning, growing, and staying strong together. Remember, you're never too old to take back control of your health, and you're never alone on this journey.